What if I told you that one man became richer than entire nations? A man who launches rockets into space, builds electric cars, owns a global communication network, and influences markets with a single post. That man is Elon Musk. Today, millions see the success. They see the private jets. They see the headlines. They see the billions. But very few people understand the journey. Because Elon Musk did not become rich overnight. His story is a series of massive risks, a series of failures, and a series of impossible bets. Bets that most people would never dare to make. So how did Elon Musk become one of the richest people on Earth? And what lessons can we learn from his rise? This is the Hidden Ledger. And this is the story of Elon Musk. Elon Musk was born in South Africa. He was born in the city of Pretoria. From a young age, he was different. He loved reading books. He spent countless hours learning, while other children played outside. Elon often stayed indoors. He read science fiction. He read encyclopedias. He read almost anything he could find. Books became his first teachers. They shaped the way he viewed the world. He was also fascinated by technology, especially computers. When most children were playing games, Elon wanted to understand how games were built. At only 12 years old, he taught himself computer programming. Think about that for a moment. No online courses, no YouTube tutorials, no AI assistants, just books and determination. Soon he created a simple video game. The game was called Blastar. Then he sold the code. The amount was small, but the lesson was huge. For the first time, he realized that ideas could create money. That realization would change his life forever. As a teenager, Elon felt limited by his surroundings. He wanted bigger opportunities. He dreamed about technology. He dreamed about innovation. And he dreamed about America, the country he believed offered the greatest opportunities. Eventually, he left South Africa, first moving to Canada, then later moving to the United States. The move was not easy. He was not rich. He did not arrive with millions of dollars. He arrived with ambition and an obsession with building things while studying. He constantly thought about the future. He believed 3 industries would change humanity: the internet, sustainable energy, and space exploration. At the time, most people were not thinking about those industries, but Elon was, and that vision gave him an advantage. In the mid-1990s, the internet was exploding. Many people saw websites. Elon saw opportunity. Together with his brother, he started a company called Zip2. The company helped businesses appear online. Today that sounds normal. Back then, it was revolutionary. The early days were difficult, very difficult. Elon and his brother worked constantly. They often slept in their office. They showered at public facilities. Every dollar mattered. Every decision mattered. Most startups fail. Many investors ignored them. Many people doubted them. But they kept going. Eventually, the company gained traction. Customers started paying. The business began growing. Then came a major breakthrough. A larger company decided to buy Zip2. The deal was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. For Elon, it was life-changing. At only 27 years old, he became a millionaire. Most people would have stopped there. Most people would have retired. Most people would have enjoyed the money. Elon did the opposite. He took the money and immediately started another company. That company was called X.com. Its goal was ambitious: to transform the banking industry. At that time, online banking was still new. Many people did not trust it, but Elon believed the future was digital. Eventually, X.com evolved, then merged with another company and became PayPal. PayPal solved a major problem: sending money online. It made digital payments easier, safer, and faster. As internet shopping expanded, PayPal expanded with it. The company grew rapidly. Millions of people started using it. Then another huge moment arrived. PayPal was acquired by eBay. The deal was worth billions. Elon received a massive payout. Now he was truly wealthy. Most entrepreneurs would have slowed down. Most investors would have protected their fortune. Elon chose a completely different path. Instead of preserving his wealth, he risked almost all of it. That decision shocked many people, because the next move looked insane. He decided to enter the space industry. Think about that. Not software, not apps, not social media. Rockets. an industry dominated by governments, an industry where failure is extremely expensive, an industry where one mistake can destroy years of work. Yet Elon believed space travel was too expensive. He wanted to change that. So he founded SpaceX. Many experts laughed, many journalists doubted him, many engineers said it could not be done. But Elon kept pushing forward. The first years were brutal. Rocket launches failed, money disappeared quickly, costs increased constantly. The pressure was enormous. At one point, SpaceX was close to collapse. The company was running out of money. Another failed launch could have ended everything. Then came a miracle. The fourth launch succeeded. The rocket reached orbit. It was a historic moment. A private company had achieved something many thought impossible. Soon after, NASA awarded SpaceX major contracts. Everything changed. Investors gained confidence. Customers gained confidence. The company survived. Then it grew, and grew, and grew. Today, SpaceX is one of the most valuable private companies in the world. Its rockets launch satellites. Its spacecraft transport astronauts. Its Starlink network provides internet across the globe. And the company continues pushing toward Mars. But while SpaceX was fighting for survival, Elon was simultaneously working on another challenge, an even more controversial one: electric cars. At the time, most people ignored electric vehicles. Many believed they would never replace gasoline cars. They were slow, they were expensive, and they were not exciting. But Elon saw something different. He saw the future. He believed the world would eventually move toward sustainable energy, not because it was fashionable, but because it was necessary. That belief led him to Tesla. Contrary to what many people think, Elon did not originally create Tesla. The company already existed, but he invested early. He became deeply involved and eventually became its leader. The mission was clear: build electric cars that people actually wanted to drive. That goal sounded simple, but the reality was brutal. The automotive industry is one of the hardest businesses on earth. Factories cost billions, supply chains are complex, competition is relentless, and mistakes are expensive. Tesla faced challenge after challenge: production delays, financial problems, public criticism, investor skepticism, and constant pressure. There were moments when Tesla seemed doomed. There were moments when bankruptcy felt close. There were moments when critics predicted its collapse, again and again and again. But Elon refused to quit. He pushed harder. He worked longer hours, sometimes sleeping at factories, sometimes spending entire nights solving production problems. He became obsessed with execution because he understood something important. A great vision means nothing without execution. Slowly, Tesla started improving. The cars became better. The technology became better. Customer demand increased. Investors began paying attention. Then something remarkable happened. Tesla stopped looking like a small startup and started looking like the future. The Model S impressed drivers. The Model 3 reached the mass market. The Model Y became a global success. Tesla expanded around the world. New factories appeared. New markets opened. Revenue exploded, and the stock price followed. For years, many people thought Tesla was overvalued, but investors were not buying the present. They were buying the future. They believed Tesla could become much bigger, and as Tesla's value increased, Elon Musk's wealth increased with it. This is one of the most important lessons in his story. Elon did not become rich through salary. He did not become rich through monthly paychecks. He became rich through ownership. Ownership changes everything. Employees trade time for money. Owners build assets, and when those assets grow, their wealth grows too. That principle transformed Elon Musk into one of the richest people alive. But he was not finished, not even close. Because while Tesla was expanding, SpaceX was creating something even bigger: Starlink. At first glance, Starlink looks simple: thousands of satellites, providing internet access. But beneath the surface, the idea is enormous. Billions of people still lack reliable internet. Remote regions often remain disconnected. Traditional infrastructure is expensive and difficult to build. Starlink offered a different solution. Instead of cables, use satellites, thousands of them, orbiting Earth, working together. The project required massive investment. The technology was incredibly complex, but Elon believed the opportunity was worth it. Today, Starlink serves customers across the world. It generates billions in revenue, and many analysts believe it could become one of the most valuable parts of SpaceX. This is another pattern in Elon Musk's career. He does not chase small opportunities. He targets industries worth hundreds of billions, sometimes trillions: cars, space, energy, communications, artificial intelligence. His ambitions operate on a different scale, and that scale attracts investors, because investors love growth. The bigger the opportunity, the bigger the potential reward. Over time, Elon became more than a businessman. He became a global figure. Every interview attracted attention. Every announcement generated headlines. Every major decision moved markets. His influence expanded beyond business. His name became a brand. And in today's economy, attention has value, a lot of value. Millions of people follow his activities. Millions watch his interviews. Millions discuss his companies. That attention creates leverage, and leverage creates opportunity. Then came another major chapter: social media. In 2022, Elon acquired Twitter, later rebranding it as X. The acquisition surprised many people. Some praised the move, others criticized it. But regardless of opinion, the deal demonstrated something important. Elon was no longer just participating in conversations. He wanted to own the platform where conversations happen. That decision increased his influence even further. Then came artificial intelligence, one of the fastest-growing industries in history. Elon had spoken about AI for years, sometimes praising its potential, sometimes warning about its risks. Eventually, he launched xAI, his own artificial intelligence company. Why? Because he understood something. Every major technological revolution creates enormous wealth. The internet created fortunes. Smartphones created fortunes. Social media created fortunes. Artificial intelligence may create even larger fortunes. And Elon wanted a seat at the table, not as an observer, but as a builder. This mindset separates extraordinary entrepreneurs from ordinary ones. They move early, before opportunities become obvious, before everyone agrees, before success feels guaranteed. Most people wait for certainty. Visionaries move before certainty exists. That is exactly what Elon has done repeatedly throughout his career. He entered industries that looked impossible. He entered industries that looked risky. He entered industries that scared other investors. And sometimes he failed. People often forget that part. Not every decision worked. Not every prediction was correct. Not every project succeeded. But failure never stopped him, because he understood another powerful principle. The biggest rewards often require the biggest risks. That does not mean taking reckless risks. It means taking calculated risks. Risks backed by conviction, knowledge, and relentless effort. When people ask why Elon Musk became so wealthy, they often search for a secret. But there is no secret. There are patterns. He thinks long-term. He focuses on massive industries. He builds instead of consuming. He owns assets instead of depending on salaries. He takes risks most people avoid, and he works with extraordinary intensity. Those patterns compound over decades, just like investments compound over time, and eventually, the results become impossible to ignore. Now here is the part most people misunderstand. When headlines say Elon Musk is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, many people imagine giant vaults filled with cash. They imagine endless bank accounts. They imagine mountains of money sitting untouched. But that is not how wealth works at this level. Most of Elon Musk's fortune is not cash. Most of it exists on paper, in the form of ownership. Ownership of companies, ownership of shares, ownership of assets that investors believe will become more valuable in the future. That is why his net worth can change dramatically, sometimes within a single day. If Tesla's stock rises, his wealth can increase by billions. If Tesla's stock falls, his wealth can decrease by billions. The same principle applies to other assets he owns. This is one reason billionaire wealth often seems unbelievable, because it is tied to valuation, not piles of cash. And that reveals an important lesson. The richest people rarely focus on income. They focus on ownership. Income can make you comfortable. Ownership can make you wealthy. Think about it. A salary has limits. Even a very high salary has limits. There are only so many hours in a day. But an asset can grow while you sleep. A business can expand without your direct involvement. A stock can appreciate in value. A product can reach millions of customers. That is the power of leverage, and leverage is one of the foundations of great wealth. Elon Musk understood this early. Every major move he made increased leverage. Zip2 reached thousands of businesses. PayPal reached millions of users. Tesla reached millions of drivers. SpaceX reached entire governments. Starlink reached entire regions. Each step expanded his impact and expanded his opportunities. Another lesson from Elon Musk's journey is focus. People often see many projects, many companies, many headlines, and assume he is constantly distracted. But beneath the surface, the pattern is surprisingly consistent. Transportation, energy, communication, technology, the future. His projects may look different, but they are connected by a larger vision. He spends years thinking about problems that could affect millions, or even billions, and then he commits deeply. That level of focus is rare. Most people chase trends. Most people jump between opportunities. Most people quit when progress feels slow. Elon built his fortune by staying committed, even when success seemed distant, even when critics were loud, even when failure looked likely. That persistence matters, because every meaningful achievement takes time. The overnight success story is usually an illusion. What looks sudden from the outside often took years behind the scenes, years of work, years of mistakes, years of learning, years of sacrifice. Elon Musk's journey is no exception. Before the headlines, there were sleepless nights. Before the billions, there were near bankruptcies. Before the fame, there were countless setbacks. And that brings us to another lesson. Failure is not always the opposite of success. Sometimes failure is part of success. SpaceX experienced failed launches. Tesla experienced production crises. Many of his projects faced criticism, yet those failures became stepping stones. Each mistake revealed information. Each setback created experience. Each obstacle forced improvement. The people who eventually win are often the people who stay in the game longer, long enough to learn, long enough to adapt, and long enough to capitalize on opportunities. There is also a lesson about thinking bigger. Most people underestimate what is possible. They set small goals, then build small plans, then achieve small results. Elon Musk operates differently. He starts with enormous goals that sound unrealistic, goals that attract skepticism, goals that force innovation. Whether you agree with his methods or not, the scale of his thinking is undeniable, and scale changes outcomes. A person trying to improve one store thinks differently from a person trying to transform an industry. A person trying to earn a paycheck thinks differently from a person trying to build an empire. Your vision influences your decisions, and your decisions influence your future. That does not mean everyone should build rockets or launch electric car companies, but everyone can think beyond immediate limitations. Everyone can invest in skills. Everyone can build assets. Everyone can create value. Everyone can improve their financial future. The path may be different, but the principles remain the same. Learn continuously. Think long-term. Own assets. Take calculated risks. Stay persistent, and focus on solving meaningful problems. Those principles created some of the largest fortunes in history, not just for Elon Musk, but for countless entrepreneurs before him. And they will likely create fortunes for generations to come. Today, millions of people look at Elon Musk and see wealth. They see private jets, luxury lifestyles, and record-breaking net worth numbers. But behind all of that is a much deeper story. A story about vision, a story about risk, a story about persistence, and a story about ownership. Because the truth is simple. Elon Musk did not become wealthy by chasing money. He became wealthy by building things people considered impossible. And when those impossible ideas became reality, the wealth followed. That is the hidden ledger, the lesson hidden beneath the headlines, the lesson most people never see. The world's richest people do not simply earn money. They build systems, they build assets, they build leverage. And over time, those assets grow larger than anyone imagined. The question is not whether you will become the next Elon Musk. The real question is this: what are you building today that could still be creating value 10 years from now? Because wealth is rarely created in a moment. It is created through years of decisions, years of effort, years of patience, and years of compounding. And those who understand that are already playing a different game, a game that can change everything. Thanks for watching Hidden Ledger. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe. And remember, the biggest fortunes are often built long before the world notices them.